What is up, dudes?
What is up?
Getting this out on Twitter.
And that's our Twitter dead air moment brought to you by Spencer Desmond.
This show will be silent. If you want the real show, you must pay us all.
Yeah.
How to alienate your readers immediately.
Yeah. Full dick mode. We're like, we have a Patreon. What do you mean you're not paying us yet?
We gave it away for free for too long, bitches.
Yeah. Seeing all
an S&M crowd.
These indie companies with all their sweet packaging now. I'm jealous. Dude, EVS has like fucking mailers and shit. That guy's just got a whole company now.
Yeah, he's like a warehouse.
He's rocking it with his warehouse.
He made them rainbow mailers. That's fucking hilarious. James Cullen Bressick is working on a new movie with Bruce Willis that I'm actually really curious about. It's this filmmaker, dude, I've talked about before. His father is like one of the creators of the Animaniacs series.
Oh.
And his dad passed like last year now. It was all over the news and stuff, obviously, because he's the creator of Animaniacs and some other stuff. But his son does these like schlocky, like
Jeff.
B action movies and like horror movies and stuff. I think he's done a couple with Seagal now, and he's actually, I think, friends with Danzig. I think he helped on Veronica or whatever the fuck that movie was called.
That's on Shudder. I saved that.
Oh yeah, it's on Shudder. I just can't bring myself to watch it. But
he's got Bruce Willis starring in this next movie?
He's doing a new movie right now where Bruce Willis, I think, is one of the main characters. And then on top of it, Zach Ward is in it, and Zach Ward plays the villain. He has bleach blonde hair, and he looks fucking insane. And he posted a picture of himself in it the other day on Twitter, and I just like lost it. I think he's supposed to be like a white supremacist or something, but like ginger Zach Ward from fucking A Christmas Story.
He's all friends with Danny Mickey.
Yeah, he's a really cool dude.
We could get him on the show.
he's the ginger who got his tongue stuck to the flagpole.
He did porn?
He did porn?
I don't think he did porn.
I don't think he did either.
His tongue on A Christmas Story, right?
Pedro Ang, what's up?
No, not the one that got his tongue stuck.
I thought he was the Christmas
bully.
The
bully may have got his tongue stuck at one point, but it's the main bully, the redhead bully that chases him. Yeah.
The kid that got his tongue stuck
yeah,
was
he's got
the porn star. Well, not porn
star.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Porn.
He's the coonskin kid.
No, if you do porn, you're a porn star. That's just how it works.
Yeah, that's definitely how it works.
Even just one?
He was also...
That's how I got my title.
What was it? Is it Nikolai that he played in the Resident Evil movies? He played a character in the Resident Evil movies.
Oh, that's that guy grown up?
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
He just like chiseled face ginger now. He was on the Titus show. Yep, he's the brother. Yeah.
God, that's crazy.
And I actually really like him, and now he's just like, he does like bit parts in like horror movies and shit. He's part of that whole scene, and Bressick uses him in a bunch of his movies. And like they just announced the other day, like, hey, he's playing the main villain in this upcoming one. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, how do I write a movie for these dudes? Like, I don't even care. I get paid like $20 and like dinner at McDonald's. Like, I'll take it.
I didn't realize he was that old. I've always thought of him as like a younger dude, but I guess he must be like 50-something now, right?
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. Christmas Story came out like... wasn't that right before I was alive? Isn't that late 80s?
Yeah.
What up, William C? Hey, Christian.
Hey,
what's
up, Christian? What's up, William C?
How you doing?
Write a porn flick. Yeah, that's what is that movie? The Girl Next Door. It used to be like one of my favorite movies as a teenager. I thought that was like such a brilliant movie.
Oh yeah, with
Emile Hirsch. And
you just want to say douche-coo.
Eliza
Douche-goosh. Eliza douche-goosh.
I think it's
Cuthbert.
Yeah, Cuthbert, something like that.
That was a weird movie though, because like it was billed as like a teen rom-com, like
they had
American
no
Pie
clue
kind of
how to
thing.
market that movie.
And then it was like super dark and twisted at moments.
Oh yeah, the movie's super dark. It actually has like a really like smart resonant point that isn't like puritanical and like preachy by the end of it. It was like weird how like I should honestly go look at like who wrote that movie, because I never really paid attention to that. I was just like surprised at how much I enjoyed that movie. And like that was like a breakout for Emile Hirsch. You thought Elijah Cuthbert was going to be in tons of shit after that too, because everybody was like, holy shit, this chick's smoking hot. And then that was like a big one for Timothy Olyphant too. He played the like junkie porn producer.
Emile Hirsch is one of those weird dudes that like will forever have a teenage boy's body, but like an older man's head on top of it.
Yeah, he's
got, forever. Jeff just cursed him. He wasn't making a commentary; right? He was cursing him.
Like him and John Connor from T2. Like he still has like a teenage boy's body. Just
Edward
his
Furlong.
Old haggard face.
Although I feel like Furlong, depending on the angle you catch him at, it's sort of reversed. He'll have like an old man body and a boy's face for a moment.
I try not to catch him at most angles, but
yeah,
that's just me.
Only from the back. The little cat eyes drawn on his hips.
I just like to ride a motorcycle, like hop on his back and ride a little 100cc motorcycle across the
open up boxes of roses and shoot guns at him. Oh man,
hey,
who
Ed,
was?
You stay here. Me and Budnick gotta go do some stuff.
Yeah. What did the ginger in that movie grow up to be?
Like
Zach Ward. No,
that would be hilarious. It's just the same kid.
Yeah, he was. I always
knew the same guy.
Yeah, he was on Different Strokes before that, and after that, I have no idea.
Didn't he ever write Righteous Mullet?
Shorts, and then I believe he started doing voice acting after that when he grew up.
Yeah, what a righteous mullet. Danny Cooksey? Is that his name?
That looks like that would be right. His name.
A Danny. Definitely a Danny.
Yeah.
Oh my
Danny,
God,
get in the fucking
dude.
house. That sounds
Fat
right.
Edward Furlong is ungodly. He looks like an old woman with a beard now, Jeff. He looks like
more
an
like
old
Edward Furwide.
Yeah, he looks like an old Greek lady.
That was just for Jeff. Sorry to everyone else that heard that.
I like Crow, Edward Furlong.
Oh
like
my fuck
fat
you,
Edward
dude.
Furlong.
Oh my God. What was
I want that T2 haircut.
Was it the second one?
Wait, which one? The John Connor one? Or
I love the John Connor one. That swoopy bangs.
Yeah.
Dude, this ginger kid.
I mean, you're good either way. I mean, they're both pretty sweet.
No, that's one of the best mullets in moviedom.
Have I talked about how I met what's his name? Michael Bain? And
you know what? I think that's Spencer as a kid. He's just been holding out on us. He's like, I wonder what he's been doing.
Yeah, he's like, where do you think this guy? He hasn't let the subject drop. Where do you guys think he is, huh?
That's it.
He's pretty handsome, isn't he?
I'm Danny Cooksey, guys. You got me. That ginger grew up to be a regular dude, I guess. Wow, that's kind of...
Oh, he's not a monster. Good for him.
Yeah, he looks like a regular
Bobcat
dude.
Goldthwait.
I was gonna say he looks like someone. Bobcat and like Charlie Hunnam like made a baby. It's weird.
And has an English accent with Bobcat's old voice.
Dude, Bobcat rocks. He's made a couple of solid movies too.
Yeah, he's a great director. Decent writer too.
He's got that Bigfoot movie he did years back that's like surprisingly good for a found footage movie. Willow Creek, I think it's called. And then he did I think it's that God Bless America movie that's just like a insanely violent satire. It's like a little girl and a guy going like a road trip just murdering people.
Was it World's Greatest Dad, I think?
Yeah, that was one of his early ones before Williams did his thing.
One, he got it from that movie, supposedly.
He got what?
the hanging method of using a door from the movie.
Oh, that's lovely.
Because like opening the movies, he walks in and finds his son dead because his son had been masturbating by erotic asphyxiation, and that's supposedly how they found Rob.
Yeah,
Red's
I
not-
remember that
he was trying
movie
to kill
being
himself,
super
but-
dark.
But Bobcat's like talked about it in some interview, saying like, fucked him up.
Poor guy.
Good times.
Way to bring us down, Jeff.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah,
Charity
God
for
Bless
the week.
America is funny. It's ridiculous. Like, I remember putting that on for the first time with like a group of friends at our place and watching it, and like me and my roommate Joe laughing like idiots, and the rest of our friends thinking we were like serial killers after that. It was just like, you guys do not get it, like at all.
So began that.
That's Bill Murray's brother, right?
Is that who that is? I always wondered, like,
Bill Murray's got like 8 brothers, and I know most of them are in film too.
well, he's got that like weird wholesome vibe where I'm just like, I always like him and stuff, and I think that's why that movie works so well. I don't even know the guy's name.
Schmill Murphy.
Yeah, Joel Murray.
All his brothers are just named versions of
And,
Bill. Will and
I think it's
Nil.
Tara Lynn Barr. She's like a grown-ass woman now, but she was supposed to play like a 14-year-old or something in it. This dude just go on like a... Well, no, they're not like banging or anything. They just go on like a cross-country trip, like killing like YouTube influencers and shit, but they're like doing it in public, and it's fucking insane. Oh, I guess she's supposed to be 16. Yeah, the dude is terminally ill. It's kind of like a modern day like Falling Down. It's like Falling Down for like the internet era. But it's well done, and it definitely leans more on the comedy angle than where Falling Down is just kind of like a depressing movie all around, and then you get to the end and it's like, I'm the bad guy.
It's like a black comedy.
Yeah, that's how I think of it. But he is right.
Yeah,
it's not, you're not laughing out loud like
Medea and
yeah, it's still real. It's still really bleak, but you're like nervously laughing.
It'd be really funny if Michael Douglas played like all the roles, like so they like cut to the gangsters, like the Mexican gangsters that come after him with the girlfriend, and like they're all him with makeup on.
He's doing his best Duval at the end.
Falling to America.
Yeah, you're the bad guy. Put the gun down real slow.
Show your range, Michael. Although he rocked a haircut in that too. We're talking good haircuts this episode.
I forgot that's the
solid
opening
flat top
of the movie. I was gonna mention that. Yeah, the opening is great. He's dreaming he's shooting the neighbor's crying baby with a shotgun. I think he just like kicks in the door and shoots the baby. Like, it's insane. But it's just like a dark fantasy of like what you wish you could do in just all these shitty situations dealing with shitty people, but it goes like a step further than Falling Down would. And like I said, it's definitely got like an intentionally comedic tone. It's just dealing with really dark shit. So it's like me and my roommate Joe fucking loved it, and all of our friends were just like, this is demented. Frog G, good to see you. Thanks for popping in either way.
Front or back.
Boo.
Yeah, we're not gonna celebrate that one. How dare you?
This is where we need Kevin's grasshopper drop.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Or cricket drop. When I say grasshopper. Fuck it.
The
The thing that jumps, that makes a noise.
Yeah. I didn't even make the connection. I was like, wait, what? Crickets and grasshoppers, not similar enough for my brain anymore. I'm too damaged.
One's a delicious cookie.
Yeah.
Both get peed on at night outside
What is
Spencer's
this?
house.
Sorry, I'm getting notices from YouTube for some reason. We're at almost 2,300 watch hours now. Back to steady climbing towards 3,000, and on our way to 4,000, where we can semi-monetize the channel whenever we hit 1,000 subscribers.
That'll be awesome.
But it starts
Are
with
you getting
like and subscribe.
That's right. Slap that like.
I don't know if you guys hear the cat siege going on in the background.
No, that's just people clawing at subscribing to our channel.
Yeah,
That's right.
subscribe to the channel. Do you like to hear cats
Perfect
moan?
timing.
I just hear whoa.
Or we just do like Corridor Crew, like, we've looked at the analytics and we have over 1 million views, but only a portion are actually subscribing to the channel.
We got a guy we keep in a dog cage, and he does all our math for us. And all we know is he was talking a lot, and our analytics are fucked up.
He eats his own poop.
Yeah, so back us, subscribe to the channel, check out the Patreon, so this guy can eat something other than shit for once.
Pay for his kibble.
Maybe we'll add some warm water to it.
Gravy wine for dogs, but for people.
I do have some shout outs to Gravy Wine in City of Rot, as well as some other things from the show that people can find.
Oh,
Dude,
awesome.
Did you see that gravy gun I shared today?
Stop talking about your penis.
Sometimes Twitter delivers, man.
We don't follow you on your amateur porn site.
Oh, you didn't? Here, let me see if I can pull it up.
He's pro now.
Really quick for the chat. Yeah. Professional dong hanging.
We got those 1,000 subscribers way quicker for that.
Can you imagine? Like,
no.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Whatever you're gonna say, I don't want to imagine.
Start like a feet only fans, and it just goes off. Booyah!
Yeah, feet.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops! Did those get in that picture?
They're all severed feet. Okay, this guy cannot argue he's not a serial killer.
Okay, he's just jerking off on feet. That's weird.
This one.
Yeah.
It's literally a guy with like a
didn't see
gravy boat pouring gravy down the barrel of a fucking shotgun. And like smiling ear to ear as this old man, I think it was, oh my God, I can't remember who it was.
Loaded and accidentally fired, so like
right,
it's like full of gravy and blows the back of his head out.
Yeah, just pop him with a mouthful of gravy. I just love there's a full dinner table. It's like, let's do a shot out of the gun. And I think it was Shelby, who's like, fucking, am I the only one who thought that was Robert De Niro at first glance? Because it just looks like old De Niro drinking out of the barrel of a gun.
Trump made me do this.
It's the
Sorry, not to get
derangement
political
syndrome.
there. It was for the humor.
Yes, it's so political. He's dead now, Ryan. We can never speak of him again.
This just in, Ryan Wynn, Trump tard.
Yes. Ryan Wynn, political zealot.
Ryan Wynn, alt-right QAnon conspiracy theorist.
Just have him on. He's always wearing a suit from now on, covered in Reagan pins.
So divisive.
You know, Reagan is like not here anymore. Like,
he's alive in our
let's
hearts.
Talk about The Last Jedi some more, guys.
Oh God. Hey,
what's up,
Crew?
RC?
Saw you guys were on, so I stopped by to give a like. Gotta go to bed. Have fun, guys. Well, thank you, Artsy. We appreciate it. We're just doing a little short pregame show before we hop over to record the Patreon episode.
Get some sleep, dude.
Yeah. So you're not missing out on much.
We'll be in your dreams.
Yeah, the good stuff will all be cataloged and locked behind a paywall.
You keep sleeping, we'll keep talking.
Yeah, but in like a month's time, we'll have a bunch of episodes, and we'll be able to figure out how we're gonna start releasing them free on the YouTube.
Just leave the channel on Artsy, and we'll make calming noises for you to fall asleep to.
Yeah, Buddhist monk chants. I almost said monk moaning. Buddhist monk moaning. It's recordings of a monk's first orgasm.
Oh my chakras! Oh my chakras!
Damn!
Oh, I just reached enlightenment. Oh.
Where can I enlighten you?
Oh, that's it. Hit that nirvana.
Yes, the monks are really hoping to record a follow-up album.
Wait, who's doing what?
Speaking of shotgun.
Artsy says at least he's not pooping. So no McDonald's for him tonight, I guess.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Jeff, what did you get at McDonald's?
Where do you think I'm recording from right now?
Yeah.
The McDonald's bathroom.
Well, yeah, what did you get other than diarrhea?
That would have more screaming in it.
What sort of pre-poop did you get?
Some guy knocking on the stall door every 5 minutes like, hey, can I come in?
Pre-poop is a word that I'm going to have to include my vocabulary now.
Yeah, I used to gross my friends out with that. Like, we'd sit down at a restaurant. I'd either call it that or future poop. I was like, oh, what kind of future poop are you getting? And they're like, damn it. It's a fun way to gross people out.
Right before lunch.
Ooh, Artsy like that one.
Jeff got a Big Mac, and he ate it in reverse.
Oh.
He sat on it.
The Mac first instead of the Big?
Yeah.
He puts the patties on the outside.
I have a good pooping at McDonald's story, but I feel like it's so good it's a Patreon.
That sounds like a nightmare. Yeah, save that. I don't know how that can all be strung into one sentence. A good pooping at McDonald's story.
Well, as time passes, it gets better. It used to be a traumatic moment.
I had a good pooping. Now that's a good story right there. You all of a sudden throw McDonald's in the mix. I'm questioning.
Or did you have when you say good pooping, do you mean like a narwhal situation where you're getting like a little pre-cum from the poop?
It was closed to have it.
Yeah, where narwhals do that?
Yeah, no, straight up narwhal books. I don't know what else to refer to him as.
The artist guy.
Yes, I imagine he's got some wacky real name too.
Yeah, it's gotta be even weirder than narwhal.
Yeah. If you're going by narwhal, I would love to know if narwhal.
His name is gotta be White Whale. He's like, just call me narwhal.
My name is literally narwhal. My parents were like wicked into acid. No, I don't know.
He's like, my name's not narwhal in real life. It's dolphin.
Yeah, I didn't want people catching on. Yeah, no.
Is that Dolph Lundgren's full name? Dolphin Lundgren.
Was that on Ethan's show that he had said that? Sometimes you poop so hard, you dribble a little bit.
It was on Jack's show. He revealed
That's what it was?
Yeah. That was the grossest thing I've ever heard.
What's going on here? Yeah, it's art. Art.
It's the opening scene. Christian, it's the opening scene to Falling Down 2.
Yeah.
Robert Duvall in his old age.
Remember when you could poop so hard you dribble a little? Those were the good old days.
That was such a good poop a monk would moan.
It's just
I love the feeling of poop in the morning.
Yeah, it's just 90 minutes of Michael Douglas moaning about things no one can relate to. Don't you remember? Burgers used to have a little bit of semen in them. That scene made me laugh.
Salt shaker used to be a job.
I knew dudes like that used to when I worked at Burger King in high school, we'd have people come by and be like, Whoppers used to be twice this size, and literally have full meltdowns in the Burger King drive-thru to me, a high school kid who had no control over the size of what a Whopper was. So like shit like that always made me laugh, but a falling down reboot would be hilarious.
Well, I'd be so sanitized now, though.
Oh yeah,
he passes the crazy on to his daughter. Like he's dying at the beginning. He's like, "Take my shotgun and my briefcase."
that's amazing. But hers are just crazy fucking millennial causes.
And she cuts to the part she clippers her hair.
You
She's
used
like,
to get free Wi-Fi at Starbucks. Now you have to buy a fucking coffee. She just like racks the shotgun. What is going
white
on?
people in this restaurant.
Yeah. Never committing violence, just fucking terrifying everyone with her wokeness.
There's too much patriarchy in this coffee.
It's called Falling Down 2, Rising Up. Wall Street did something to us. I didn't graduate high school, so I don't quite know.
Her name's Tina, but she goes by Antinafa.
She doesn't actually know how to use the gun. She's holding it backwards the whole movie.
But she says things like, "I got 6 bullets that are gonna occupy you."
Yeah, she keeps racking the gun and then looking down the barrel.
It's not even a gun, though. It's one of those claw things that old people have. She just thinks it's a gun.
A gopher.
The end of the movie, she finally shoots the gun, and the kickback, she knocks herself out. It hits her in the head, knocks herself out, and that's where the falling down comes into the story. And everyone's like, "Oh, she knocked herself out! Quick, lock her up."
Michael Douglas's washed-up son, Edward Furlong.
Wait, is Edward
Holy
Furlong so
shit.
down in his luck he lost a G in his last name?
He couldn't afford it anymore.
Sold his last G for
He sold
a
it for a G. Well, that's the name of this episode. Edward Furlong.
Furlong.
Get off my furlong.
Edward Furlong, the story of one broke G.
If Falling Down 2 is just Edward Furlong's story.
Oh,
Playing himself.
Oh
You just
man,
record him going everywhere and getting mad.
Isn't Nicolas Cage doing that soon? What's up, Ginge? What's up, Randy? Good to see you, dudes.
What's up,
Yeah,
boys?
I think Nicolas Cage is like that. It's like the fucking something of art. It's something stupid about like the tax of art on a human being or an artist or some shit. The crippling weight of the crippling weight of being an artist or some pretentious shit like that. But it's literally like a fake movie about Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage, and it sounds like exactly what we would want to see. I just remember it having a really pretentious name, but it genuinely sounds like it's going to be ridiculous.
Didn't his like weirdness really come to light after he married Elvis's daughter?
Yeah, no, that was like where like all his like hardcore like comic collecting and everything really came out, where she was like, he's like 12 years old.
Well, he had
But
to
she
drink her
also-
blood, and it's the blood of Elvis too.
But
So
she was also with Michael Jackson, so I think this bitch is just fucking dudes up.
Yeah, but was
It's
she
the blood
really
thing.
was she really with Michael Jackson though?
Uh-huh.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
back.
Yeah, he'll marry you,
Shimon.
but it's
Are
a
there
little
any
bit.
children here?
You're a little bit too old to be in a bed with Michael. His rule is the math of ages can't add up to 50 with him and whatever's in the bed with him.
That's what I like about them high school
Yeah.
girls.
Oh, this one's expired. She's 16.
Let's see.
bad milk.
Let's see. I'm 42, and it can't be more than 50. All right.
sour.
And you're 11. God damn, you're ancient.
Ooh, girl, they got cooties.
I've been at a residency with world writers,
Michael, I'm your
dancers,
wife.
architects for 3 weeks, and I'm having trouble getting back to my real life pre-cum poop jokes with death curse. Jesus. World writers, dancers, and architects for 3 weeks? What the fuck? Why does it sound like William C. works at like Circus LA or some shit?
I hope he does now. That's awesome.
Right?
He's like, listening while on the trapeze. Sorry, can't comment more.
Just wearing some fruity costume while
a
he's
residency. A residency
some fat lady
with
singing
world...
in his ear.
What other place can you think of where there's fucking architects and dancers and world writers? What?
I feel like there's some steel drums there.
Yeah, what are you?
Great joke here that I'm just missing out on right now.
Yeah, it's like some Disney shit. The best blood to drink is Elvis blood. Yeah. It lets you live 20 years. You live 20 years longer, but you're gonna die on the toilet.
Yeah, but they started siphoning it when he was young. So if you can get like an old batch, it's primo stuff.
You just get fat lips and thick hair like instantly. It's like being bitten by a werewolf or something.
You just sweat uncontrollably the rest of your life.
Start slurring just random words, so no one can ever tell when you're drunk. That was the cool thing about Elvis. It was just like the words that he would slur would just like switch. He'd stop slurring the ones that he would slur when he was sober and start slurring the other ones.
It's called code switching.
Yeah. Right? When you're
it's
in
drunk
the
druggy culture. You just don't understand it. Wait,
code
code
switching in the ghetto.
In the ghetto.
Code switching in the ghetto.
Because he could go from the ghetto to the grotto.
Yeah. And everywhere in between. With
Elvis
all his
blood.
His smooth poop and cum jokes. Ever heard of Nixium? Yeah, isn't that the Smallville racket one?
Yeah, my wife watched the documentary on that. She was filming me in on it, and every time she started talking about it, I thought it was like she'd say, "Oh, but watch another episode of that Nexium show." And in my head, just the name Nexium makes me think of like some tech company. So I'm thinking like, "Oh, what's she gonna say about this thing?" And then she's talking about this like sex cult stuff. I'm like, "Oh, damn."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was like
the Smallville
girl, and some other people were implicated
like
in
you guys
it.
Are talking about.
Yeah,
branding people.
It sounds like fucking something to like. It fights depression, but also
hepatitis or something.
Causes everything. I join, and the first thing I hear is smooth poop and cum. Yeah,
what up,
and this is just the warm up. That happened literally 20 minutes away from me. Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't that like upstate New York area? They had randomly like, I forget the rich guy's name. It was like, I want to say like Richard something. I feel like he was a dick. Seems appropriate.
The Smallville cult thing.
Yeah, there was like a guy though. No, there was a guy that was leading it like out of New York who was like this weird businessman dude, and he was the one who was like fucking all the women and abusing everybody, and then that Smallville chick was like his right-hand man basically, and bringing in more women and stuff. His Ghislaine Maxwell
says Big Rich.
There you go. Yeah, Big Rich is like from the areas, because I remember that story breaking like in our area, and Rich would know probably even better, but it like broke in our area like a couple days at least before I started hearing about it like nationally, and like it being all over Twitter and shit. Like it took a while for that to really pick up. Yeah, Allison Mack.
Met Allison Mack. Did she have like crazy eyes?
She used to do like cons and stuff, if I remember correctly. But yeah, like that was the whole thing, was like there was still this like facade of her being like a normal human being, and there was like even I think some chicks that came forward that had stories of her like inviting them to like Nixium events that they never went to. Yeah, he branded the women with his initials, and it was like this like gay art piece thing. Like,
yeah, it was like a sigil. Like it was like
it wasn't like his initials. It was made to be like abstract, but it was so poorly done. You could tell it was his initials. Like, that was really cool.
We'll have a death curse brand.
Me and Coach, I'll talk.
Now we definitely have to do it.
Come on in. We'll brand your ass meat. That would be hilarious.
Kayla's like, this is just for the picture, right? Yeah, just hold still.
Welcome to the Falling Down Club. Remember when burgers didn't taste so good? Remember
That
when
should
the
be one of the
Whopper was
Patreon
bigger
levels, the
and
Falling
some
Down
guy
Club.
didn't jizz in it? The Falling Down Club. You can call us for 20 minutes a month and complain to us about whatever you want. That was a good one. That sort of ties in with all the shit I've been researching too. Like I told you guys about that retarded murder scheme. So many murder case files I've been reading through for this book that were just like you would think statistically with how dumb all of these people are and how quickly they get caught, like, oh, there's also got to be like at least a couple guys out there like the Zodiac that are just like prolific as fuck and doing tons of this. I'm like thinking about this as I'm like listening through all these cases, but it's like seems more so in reality that just everybody's kind of like dumb and mentally ill in some capacity when they do this shit. And they get caught doing wild stuff. I'm trying to remember some of the like really big ones.
Your detective voiceover is horrible.
Yeah. Well, I just don't care enough. There was there was one guy who was a bail bondsman who was convincing criminals that he was bailing out for no reason to then go murder and rob people. And one of the guys they tried to kill, they slashed his neck, shot his son in the back of the head 3 times, buried the both of them, and the guy whose neck they slashed wasn't dead and unburied himself, dragged his kid's body out, walked out to a main road, flagged down a car, waited for the police and EMTs to show up, told them he wouldn't leave until they went down into the woods and recovered his son's body. He refused to leave the scene while he's bleeding out from a neck wound. They finally get him to leave and treat him. And as he's riding to the hospital, he tells the cop in the ambulance with him, they took his house keys and they're probably going back to try and take whatever they can from the house worth money. And the cops immediately send units by the house. And as they're rolling up, the Crown Vic that this guy described rolls by and they stop him. And he's got fake police uniforms in his car covered in blood because they showed up at the house at this guy's house claiming that they were police and like arrested him and his son. And they were like, we got to bring you down to the station for questioning. And the guy was like, I knew something was fucked up when we drove by the police station. It's like, oh yeah, you were fucked. But yeah, that dude held his neck together for like an hour and managed to like catch them all basically. And
just like Pokemon.
It was essentially just like this plot this guy had going for a while where he would bail out like random criminals for like tons of money that he had. And then he got some sort of gratification out of like convincing them to do crimes with him. That was like his repayment for them. Like he was clearly just like a fucking nutcase. That was one of the more like insane ones. I forget how they were hiding the bodies. I don't know if that was the same one where they were like, it got to a point where they had so many bodies, they were like putting them in fucking barrels. And this guy used to tell people he had a hobby for digging holes. And he just had holes all over his property, and nobody was like, oh, that's a red flag. Yeah, Christian said, I remember that case. There's a video of the guy's talking with the cops he's holding his cut throat. Yeah, it's fucking insane. He's just like hanging out, tells them his name, spells it all out for them, tells them his birthday and shit. He's just like holding his neck together and screaming at them that he's not leaving until they go get his fucking kid out of the woods. And then you come to find out it was the 2 guys where it was that repo or the bail bondsman and his right hand man was this repo man's son who he had bailed out, and the repo man worked for the 2 victims. The guy who got his throat slashed would hire this repo man and his mentally deficient son to do like landscaping for them. So his mentally deficient son thought that this guy had a lot of money because he was always hiring them and helping them out with work. So when the bail bondsman guy was like, well, you need to start paying me back if you have any ideas, he recommended to this guy, hey, I know these people who have a lot of money, we can rob them. And he tried to claim that he didn't know they were going to kill them, but they were like, well, okay, well, this guy slashed this guy's neck, and then you shot a kid in the back of the head 3 times. So, I mean, even if you didn't know he was going to kill a guy, you then killed a kid. Like, the guy was so dumb he couldn't, like, wrap his head around that. Then I got to watch all sorts of awesome cases where cops like coerced mentally challenged people into basically admitting to murder and stuff like that. That was a really great one. It was like, Jesus Christ. Obviously, like
West
a lot
Memphis
of them,
3 kind of stuff.
Yeah, there was. Oh, I wish I could remember the guy's name now, but he was very clearly like coerced in the interrogation room. And then basically the way the cops got away with it was they didn't submit the video or the audio of the actual interrogation tape to evidence. They just had the interrogator come in and give a secondhand account of what happened. And like the jury went off of him being a credible witness, but that cop just blatantly lied. And then like 10 years later, it came out through like some Innocence Project that this fucking retarded guy was just completely framed. And that like during the interrogation, basically the thing that nailed him during the original court case was this guy had never met the woman. This woman was basically found strangled with like rope tied around her neck at the scene of a car accident right near like a river. And this mentally handicapped guy was like fishing like probably 100 yards away from where the accident happened, said he didn't hear her or anything like that. And then his DNA was found all over the inside of the car. This was before they found about touch DNA, which is like transfer contact DNA. And they basically found out through video footage of the crime scene that none of the cops auditing the crime scene had gloves on. The main cop that was auditing the crime scene was the one that interacted with this mentally handicapped man. He had held his ID. He had talked to him at length and shaken his hand multiple times, which is one of the easiest ways
Sucked him off 3 times.
Yeah, right. To make touch DNA, right? You might as well at that point just spit his seed all over the inside of the car. But then the cop went through the car and touched pretty much everything in the car after shaking this mentally challenged man's hands. So this guy's trace DNA was all over the inside of the car along with the cops. They ruled out the cops because he was just a dumb cop and accidentally tampered with the crime scene, but they didn't rule out this mentally challenged guy and his cousin who was evidently there with him fishing earlier too. But it's like the cops hadn't even talked to the cousin at the time, and somehow his DNA got transferred too, just from being around the mentally handicapped guy. Is Mark something. Mark's the handicapped dude. I was literally rolling through hundreds and hundreds of cases, and I don't have my notes in front of me right now, but he eventually got let out, I think, in 2019, and it's still like open. And I think the DA is trying to try this mentally challenged guy again. But the nail in the coffin during the court case was this guy supposedly, the handicapped guy, Mark, knew the exact height and weight of the girl when they asked him a question about it, and like got up and demonstrated like how tall she was compared to him. But it was because they didn't include the part at the beginning of the interview where they literally, the detective stood up and did the exact same thing and basically showed it to this guy. And this guy is like mentally handicapped and was just parroting back to them. The detective was like, she was only, I think he says like 5'6". He's like, so she'd be up to here on me. He's like, you want to stand up and show me how tall she'd be up to you on you? And then he's like, okay. He's like, I don't know. I'm just guessing, but I guess here. And like puts his hand up, and he's like all confused, doesn't know what's going on. He's like, yeah, so you had to look her in the eyes when you were strangling her to death. And the mentally handicapped dude's like, what? Like it was so bad. Like And there's tons of cases of that. And I'm like, I'm doing research for this book, and I'm just like, oh God. Like,
I'm like, in my head, I'm just going, make jokes to lighten this up. Make jokes to lighten this up. I'm like, there's no jokes to make.
You can't. And like the DA at the end of the case who's like trying to put this handicapped dude back in jail wasn't even around for the original trial or anything. He wasn't the DA at the time or anything. So he's just like angry about this handicapped guy, I guess. And genuinely thinks he did it, but like
always gets a good parking space.
Yeah, this dude's mentally handicapped. He had carpal tunnel and a bunch of other shit, and like a bunch of doctors came in and basically
he gets all the good luck.
Right, basically deemed that this guy wasn't even physically capable of like tying a rope around another person's neck. They were like, he's like the physicality of like a small child, and like the mentality of one as well. And they put him in prison for like 10 years. And he was just like, every time you see him in prison, he's like smiling and confused. It's just like, oh God. Like it was bad.
The prosecutor's like, these guys are associating us. I know it.
Yeah. Like just a dude totally convinced, like, you're not handicapped. Fucking faker.
Watch. It's like, when he gets out in the yard, he'll start limping, and then all of a sudden he'll straighten up. He's gonna have
slamming this guy's head into a brick wall. Can I have some candy? No, you fucking liar.
No, wait, I know what I gotta do. I gotta drop a mug and let it break in front of him. Then he'll reveal himself.
It's the lighter. Where's the lighter?
He's like, I want to watch Sesame Street.
What is up, Padrino? Sorry, guys. Fucking really went off on that case. There were so many I read, man. Some crazy human trafficking ones. There's some really funny ones where dudes would just like try to run up and kidnap a woman, and it was like you hear about these crazy dudes that make these elaborate plans and like, you know, kidnap a woman for months on end, and then you find out there's like 40 other women they did it to beforehand. Not funny, but I mean, like, then there's you hear about these guys that are literally funny. Like, these guys did these crazy long plans and they got caught. Why don't I just shoot from the hip? And they straight up will just like run up and like grab a woman and call an Uber. Like, what are you doing?
Hold still for 10 to 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you ever grab a woman and then the Uber driver doesn't get there in time?
There was two dudes that posed as cops, and one of them would pull
Uber
up
pudding pops.
Oh my God. Cosby cops. That's basically what these guys were. Oh, that was the other one. I was rereading the Christopher Dorner shit.
Starring Raven Simone.
Well, because it came out after the fact. Dorner wasn't just like a guy that like got fucked over by the police and like fought back and killed all of these police because of it. It came out that he was sort of mentally ill, and a lot of the stuff he had gotten fucked over by the police with wasn't actually real. It was like part of his mental illness that he was making up, sort of fabricating in his own head. This is a really sad story. Obviously, a lot of cops died too, so that was sad. But in his manifesto, he signed it at the end that he would miss a bunch of different people, and it was like a bunch of celebrities. One of them was Anthony Bourdain. So it was like literally like everybody mentioned on this got outed as like a rapist, a sex pest, or like died violently or killed themselves.
Oh shit.
I'm pretty sure it was Kobe Bryant, Bill Cosby, Anthony Bourdain, and a couple others. But like there was like one person on it that is just like scot-free right now, hasn't had anything happen to them, that this guy listed in his manifesto. And I was just like, God damn, what a collection of people to fucking name at the end of your fucking cop killing manifesto. And I'm pretty sure Bill Cosby was the last one. I was like, well, I guess probably for the best that Dorner didn't make it through all this. Like, holy shit. And Louis C.K.'s my favorite comedian, and damn can Weinstein fund a movie. Like,
not funny. Too far.
Yeah, right.
Well, wait, which Weinstein? There's a couple of them that fun movies.
You can't say that, Ryan.
I thought he had a brother.
All the Weinstein's fun movies. Yeah, doesn't he? Like Eric or something?
Bob.
Yeah,
Bob.
that wasn't. It wasn't a race
Isn't
joke.
there
It
like
was a
an
literal
Eric
joke about his
Weinstein,
brother.
No, I'm just. It's just too easy. Jews run Hollywood. What?
I didn't even think that.
Beth from the other room. Shut the
You
fuck
just
up.
knew it inherently.
Yeah, right.
Hollywood, Florida.
Yeah, everybody that funds movies has
we don't
the
talk about Hollywood,
surname
Florida.
Weinstein.
It's wonderful down there.
That'd be wild if that was just one of the world's coincidences. Why do all producers have the last name Weinstein? That's a shitty stereotype, guys. Everybody knows Nigerian princes run Hollywood. What's up, Ara?
We're the producers now.
Unless they're Chinese. Yeah, look at me.
Make John Boyega smaller.
I am funding this movie now. Okay. We're going to pay for it with plastic bottles. Oh God, we are getting canceled. Yeah, we said we were gonna warm up for a half hour. It's been 50 minutes. So thanks, dudes, for hanging out. We'll call it here. Waited almost an hour. Yeah, we got to go over and record the Patreon episode so I can get it up for Tuesday. I'm going to even try starting to get them up for Mondays. So there's not a bunch of turnover time. So when we're all current on current events and shit, it
like
won't feel... Yeah, just like South Park. We write it in 7 days and then we perform it. Except there's no writing. I don't have time for that shit. But yeah,
Primus does the intro.
Oh, we are easily the dumbest podcast ever, and
you guys know you can do it live, right? Nope, we gotta take a week to get ready.
Are we retarded?
All that dead air is planned a week in advance.
Well, my whole thing is if we did it live, I would straight up have to like turn off the chat tab for me. Like I can't read shit and like do the same thing we do over there, which is why I say it's kind of different over there. What happens if someone joins the Patreon for $1? Do we forever shamed? No, the $1 gets you in on everything. That's the whole thing. We're still figuring out the higher tier stuff. Mitch is all in with us on one of the higher tiers, so we're sort of working that out with our patrons that already exist and figuring out what's the biggest bang for their buck and what you guys want. Obviously, as more people come in and we get more feedback, it'll shape up to something more. But I mean, we were planning on doing one of these episodes a month, and we had such a good time last weekend that we decided we're just going to start recording them every Sunday and release them how we please. So yeah, eventually they will be coming to the... Yeah, they'll be coming out they come out the front for the patrons. They come out the back for free weeks or months later on the YouTube. So they'll be uploaded as like VODs. You guys can watch them on here for free. They might have some little like clips thrown in and shit because like, I mean, it was our first episode. We already had some fucking visual bits going on where we were just laughing at movie trailers and got really dumb, but they'll be up for people who don't like to subscribe to shit like that for free eventually, but that's sort of like you get it at the pace we deem. If you back the Patreon, it's basically $12 for the year for that minimum one. You're gonna get comic work and stuff like that, behind the scenes shit that I'm working on and we're all working on. Some other sort of tutorial shit we're sort of figuring out. And then this little podcast thing we do on Sundays now, which the first episode is already up. And we're going to record the second one now. So thanks for hanging out with us, dudes. Thank you, everybody. Only fans, only farts. Hell yeah, dudes. But yeah, we're going to go get off the air and record that shit. And we'll see you dudes later.
Was it worth the girth?
Dildo.